You're going to be so disappointed. I had a friend who saw me taking my cards out for some kind of remarks, and he said, I see a shaft of light is about to be cast where heretofore there was no darkness. They asked me to speak just 3 minutes. I don't want you to worry about that. The minutes will fly by like hours. I want to thank my family and my friends, my Atlantic colleagues, my colleagues from the advisory board from years ago, my brand new partner in media. I can't tell you how happy they were to open the program tonight and see that I was the 5th of 5 speakers. And I want to thank the Reporters Committee. This is as close as an owner can get to a journalism award. I've spent the last 20 years having bought my way into your sector. I've done better purchases. But nothing's meant more to me than feeling almost a part of this journalism community. And to the extent that you anchor me into that feeling tonight, I'm deeply grateful for it. Forgive me if I do 2 introductions. I want to introduce you to Diane and John Foley. They're the parents of Jim Foley, and they're here tonight. Would you stand? Could you stand? I can't tell you how much this family has done to move the United States government in its response to hostages held overseas. There's no one there equal. And then I want to introduce you to a man who became a friend of mine in the most unusual circumstance. It's Theo Padnos. He entered Syria in 2014 and was held for 22 months by al-Nusra, the Al-Qaeda of Syria. Theo, would you stand for just a second? So in my remaining moments, what can I tell you that's of interest? Well, let me try this. For the last 7 years, a number of my colleagues at the Atlantic, who are here tonight, and I have been working on trying to get hostages, American hostages, out of ISIS, al-Nusra, Al-Qaeda, the Taliban, the Haqqanis, and a couple of the Arab authoritarian governments. So that started in 2011, it's 2019, I guess it's 8 years. What do we know now? At 2019, we didn't know in 2011. So this is the insight, but I'm going to frame it as if you were the parents of a hostage. So picture yourself as parents, and one of your children has disappeared overseas. And here's the insight. Days go by, weeks, maybe even months go by, when there's not a single person on the planet who has done a single thing to get your child home. Your child goes to bed at night in a cell, and nothing has happened that day. No emails, no phone calls, nothing has happened. Now, I don't mean to be critical of the United States government in saying this. After the death of Jim Foley, the Obama administration really ramped up in trying to get American journalists discovered in a home. And whatever you think of the Trump administration, they've been remarkable in their attempts to get Americans home. But government is like other human institutions. So people leave their jobs, or an FBI agent gets seconded somewhere else, or a lead goes cold and nobody bothers to follow up on it. People go home at 6 p.m. People don't work on 3-day weekends. So there's nothing in the search for our journalists that matches the intensity you would feel if your child was lost. So I have a proposal. The proposal is that we do our own searching for missing journalists, and we bring our own journalists home. The work The work that you do when you're looking for journalists is exactly the work of journalism. It is phone calls and emails and meetings. It's building relationships, trying to get trust, trying to get people to introduce you to other networks. It's networking out. There's nothing different that I've seen about this work than what is done by journalists. But we would bring the intensity to it that it's hard for a large government institution to bring. You all will know the Army Rangers' first principle of the battlefield, leave no man behind. So I think we could adopt that Rangers dictum as our own. Journalists never leave a journalist on the field. And in the moment, for 7 years now, the one who needs us most is Austin Tice.